Welcome back. He just marched with more than 2,000 people, 2.5 miles at the 18th annual Cesar Chavez March for Justice. And now he's joining us from Fort Worth, where he's fighting for the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate ahead of next month's runoff. Dr. Al-Amil, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about that march. This has been an issue that has been coming up in several campaigns this primary season. Fair pay was one of the main reasons you did that, correct? Tell me about that.
Well, it's not just fair pay. It's more about safe working condition, fair pay, opportunity, giving the Latino community the opportunity to have progress and prosperity. So it was very important to me because this was about the movement for farm workers union. I myself started out my career 42 years ago working in the farms in the fields of California, so I'm very well aware of the challenges and the obstacle that faces the farm workers of America and the poor.
You support the DREAM Act, and that has been a very controversial subject among many lawmakers here in the state. Also, comprehensive immigration reform. How would you go about doing this if you are a member of Congress?
Well, I think the most important thing is to realize that, and I understand this because I have a large extended Mexican-American family. My wife's family is from Zacatecas, Mexico. And we spend our life in business with the Latino community. We understand that there are many people in this country who have been here for many years. There are hardworking, law-abiding people who are only asking for a fair opportunity, and I would like them to have the opportunity that I have. And I certainly believe that they deserve not only the DREAM Act and a stop to deportation and separating their families, but they actually deserve a path to citizenship. And I'm going to fight very hard for that. And I believe that the Republicans are going to see the wisdom of accepting that policy because they cannot survive as long as they insist on those racist policies that they have today.
Yeah, this has been a long-time Republican post. You know, you got the competition with the Democratic runoff first, but then if you do make it to the general election, you know, how do you feel like you're going to overcome the fact that Texas has typically, at least in recent history, had a Republican in this seat?
Well, I believe that we have the right message. John Cornyn works for Wall Street, not Main Street. He is destroying the middle class. He is destroying the American dream because he works for Wall Street. On the other hand, I believe in hope. I believe in working for a living and being rewarded when you work hard. I believe that education and opportunity is a Texas value, and I believe that it's time to put America first. John Cornyn message is shipping more jobs overseas, giving trillions of dollars to Wall Street and big corporation, and he is destroying our economy. I believe it's time to put America first and put our families back to work, and I have the right platform to do that, and I'm sure that Texans will see that my platform is more in line with Texas values.
Ahead of next month's runoff, you have a opponent, Keisha Rogers. How do you feel like you stack up against her?
Well, I believe that every Democrat around the state has already decided that they're not going to vote for Keisha Rogers. It remains a challenge. You never take any election lightly. But I believe that my platform will speak for itself. I stand for the middle class. I stand for hope and opportunity. I stand for the American dream. And I think that resonates not only with Democrats, but with every Texan.
You know, lastly, we have seen Senator Ted Cruz and Senator John Cornyn at Fort Hood this week in the aftermath of that terrible tragedy with the shooting there on Post. John Cornyn was also one of the people behind the Fort Hood Heroes Act, where they were trying to get benefits for victims of such tragedies. You know, how do you go up against something like that when it comes to something like what happened at Fort Hood, and what would you do if you are a member of Congress to react to this?
Well, first of all, I am a U.S. veteran. I served our military proudly in San Antonio for 3 years. I love the military. I'm a great supporter of the military. And I believe that if you care about the military, you take care of them. John Cornyn loves our soldiers on the way to war, but he ignores them when they come home. He ignores their health risk. He ignores their needs. He ignores the fact that they must be assimilated back into civilian life. They have many, many problems in their marriage, in their finance, and they are not getting the kind of medical treatment that they need. I believe in loving them more when they come back than simply cheating them on the way to war. So I will go against John Cornyn any time of the day when it comes to our military. I prove myself by working for them, by having good hospitals for them, good benefit, and given opportunity when they come back home.
Dr. Allamiel, I appreciate you joining us. Good luck with the rest of your campaign ahead of the runoff.
Well, thank you for having me, Josh. It's been a pleasure.
And a reminder, the primary runoff coming up in a few just next month on May 27th. There are more than 20 races, and we have a complete list online at KXAN.com. And as we said before, in one of those races, Allamiel will face off against Keisha Rogers in the Democratic runoff. We reached out to Rogers' campaign for an interview and are hoping to have her on our program very soon. Coming up, a historic look at two presidents who made similar strides a century apart. The Texas tie when we return.